Hello, and welcome to another episode of Real World Analytics, or What Schools Don't Teach You. This is another installment of my coffee series, where I discuss something that I consider interesting and give you my views as a professional data scientist in an informal fashion. Once again, I have something from medium.com. I'll put a copy of it here. It's another article by Cassie Kozyrkov. I quite enjoy her reading and her sense of humor, but more on that later. The title of the article is Data Scientist, the Sexiest Job of the 22nd Century. And she mentions in the introduction that being a data scientist has been called the sexiest job of the 21st century, but she is going to highlight some of the challenges that data scientists face, and I have to say that I think she has a point. She mentions three main challenges that data scientists face: unskilled leadership, no data, and nasty tools. Today I want to focus on the unskilled leadership, and in fact, it's pointed out that the top highlight is without decision makers skilled at assigning work appropriately and making data-driven decisions, data scientists are effectively useless. Note that she has some links to some of her other articles in here, so if you want to follow up more and kind of go down the rabbit hole about what types of challenges data scientists face and read her thoughts on those, the information's there. She's written this from the point of view that if you're interviewing as a data scientist, to try to evaluate the business maturity about these 3 points. And so she's listed some questions that you can ask. Namely, whose job is it to make sure you have data? Who gets fired if your insights aren't used for anything? And who picks the tools you use and make sure they play nice with all the other infrastructure? Now here I'd like to reiterate, I've read a number of her articles. I enjoy her writing. I enjoy her sense of humor. And I understand that I don't think she's literally advocating, when you get to the end of an interview, just saying, who gets fired if all my insights aren't used for anything? But given that's not what you should ask, the question becomes, well, why should you ask? But before talking about the alternative questions, let's go back and talk about the answers. What she wants to focus on is whether or not the answer to all these questions is you. Are you responsible for your own data? Are you responsible to make sure that whatever you build will play nicely with all the other tools? And the question at hand, will you be the one who gets blamed if all of your insights aren't used for anything? And in addition to considering the answers, she has more links to some of her other works about more details on these points. So going back to rewording this question about evaluating how skilled their leadership is, I like to start off by asking whether or not they currently work with data scientists. And if the answer is yes, this is kind of the easier case because you can ask them, what is their experience like working with the data scientists? So you're asking for their view as a manager rather than the data scientist view of the world. And oftentimes you can get some good insights if they say, we find it really difficult, they keep delivering all of this mathematics and that's not useful to us, then you can ask follow-up questions about what type of mathematics it is and evaluate their mathematical skill level. You can go a little bit further and ask what types of deliverables the data scientists produce. It could be code, it could be that while the company is asking for data scientists, actually what they really want is dashboards and a more business intelligence view of the world. If they aren't currently working with data scientists, this becomes a little bit more difficult because you don't have some kind of ground truth to estimate their future behavior. But you can try to gauge what their expectations are, what will they want delivered, how will they evaluate results, and it's more about the attitude of the manager. Do they seem like someone that will listen to you and that is understanding that data science is not a magic wand, or are they looking for it all? But what do you think? What do you consider to be important questions to ask a prospective manager to see how they are on their journey of doing data science? Do you have experience with dealing with these challenges? And while I've covered unskilled leadership in this video, do you consider that to be the main challenge? Or do you consider having no data or poor data to be larger challenges, or that internal tools are actually the problem you face? Please let me know in the comments section down below. There'll be a link to the full article in the description, and I'll see you next time on Real World Analytics, or What Schools Don't Teach You. Thank you. Goodbye.